on the African savannah, a single ostrich kick can be more dangerous than the claws of a lion. But today, one small mother must face this giant bird to feed her hungry cubs. Her name is Nala. She is not the biggest, fastest, or strongest animal on the savannah, but she does not know how to give up. First, she will attempt to steal a giant egg protected by an angry ostrich. Then she will enter a hive filled with thousands of aggressive bees. But by the end of the day, Nala will face something far more dangerous than the bees or the ostrich. Her path will cross with a fully grown male lion. Can a small honey badger truly survive against one of Africa's most powerful predators? As the sun rises over the African savannah, everything appears calm. But beneath this silence, a constant struggle for survival is already underway. Inside a small underground den, Nala's hungry cubs are waiting for her. Before the heat of the day arrives, the mother honey badger leaves the safety of the den. She must find food. Honey badgers do not possess especially powerful eyesight. However, they have an incredibly sharp sense of smell. Nala raises her head and tests the wind. There is something unusual in the air. This is not the scent of an ordinary meal. A short distance away, a large ostrich nest rests on the open ground. Inside it are several enormous eggs, each one larger than Nala's head. A single ostrich egg could provide a valuable meal for Nala and her cubs. But the eggs are not unprotected. A fully grown ostrich stands beside the nest, constantly watching the surrounding grassland. Ostriches cannot fly, but their powerful legs allow them to run at remarkable speeds. Those legs are not only useful for escaping danger. A powerful forward kick from an adult ostrich can seriously injure or even kill an attacker. Nala understands the danger. She does not rush directly toward the nest. Instead, she moves slowly through the dry grass. She advances a few steps, then quickly retreats. The ostrich immediately reacts and moves toward her. Nala approaches again. The ostrich changes direction once more. This encounter is becoming a battle of patience and observation rather than strength. Nala does not need to defeat the ostrich. She only needs to force it to look in the wrong direction for a few seconds. Once again, Nala runs toward the opposite side of the nest. The ostrich leaves its position to block her. This is the opportunity she has been waiting for. Nala suddenly changes direction and charges toward one of the eggs. But the ostrich is faster than she expected. A powerful kick sends Nala flying across the ground. For several seconds, she remains still. Then she lifts her head and slowly rises to her feet. Nala's first attempt has failed, but she will not make the mistake of repeating the same strategy. One of the honey badger's greatest abilities is adapting quickly when circumstances change. This time, Nala moves in a much wider circle. She approaches the ostrich and then deliberately begins to retreat. The protective bird follows her, moving farther away from the nest. When the ostrich begins to close the distance, Nala disappears into the tall, dry grass. For a few moments, she is completely hidden. Then she suddenly appears on the opposite side of the nest. The ostrich turns and races back, but it is already too late. Nala grips one of the eggs with her front paws and begins dragging it away with all her strength. The egg is extremely heavy. Its smooth, round surface also causes it to roll unpredictably across the ground. The ostrich quickly approaches. Nala releases the egg and escapes the next kick at the final second. Then she rushes back, grabs it again, and drags it a little farther. The same struggle happens several times. With each attempt, the egg moves slightly farther away from the nest. Eventually, the ostrich is forced to return and protect the remaining eggs. Nala has succeeded, but now she faces another problem. Nala drags the egg all the way back to the entrance of her den. Her cubs immediately become excited when they detect the scent of food. However, an ostrich egg has an incredibly strong shell. Nala first tries to break it with her jaws. Her teeth leave only a few shallow marks. Next, She uses her claws. Again, the shell refuses to break. Instead of giving up, Nala begins rolling the egg toward a group of rocks. She pushes it forward, runs after it, and brings it back again. Once, twice, 3 times. Finally, a thin crack appears across the surface. Nala repeatedly bites the damaged area until the crack begins to grow. A few minutes later, the shell finally breaks open. The egg is rich in protein and fat, providing an important meal for both the mother and her cubs. But on the savannah, no food source lasts forever. After a short rest, Nala leaves the den once again. Later that afternoon, the wind changes direction. Nala lifts her head and detects a strong, sweet scent. Honey. A wild beehive is hidden inside the trunk of an old tree. Thousands of bees move around the entrance, constantly protecting the colony. Most animals would never dare approach such a place. But Nala is not like most animals. Her thick skin and coarse fur reduce the effect of bee stings. However, this does not make her completely immune. Every sting is painful, especially around her eyes, ears, and nose. Despite the risk, Nala approaches the hive. The bees quickly detect the threat. Within seconds, hundreds of them rise into the air and surround her. As Nala tears into the hive with her claws, bees attack her face and body. She has only a short amount of time. When she finally reaches the honey, she begins eating as quickly as possible. Then she grips a piece of honeycomb in her mouth, hoping to carry it back to her cubs. But just as she prepares to leave, movement appears in the nearby bushes. Nala is no longer alone. The scent of honey has also attracted a troop of baboons. They slowly begin surrounding Nala. Individually, the baboons are hesitant to approach her. But as their numbers increase, they become more confident and aggressive. The first baboon rushes forward and attempts to steal the honeycomb. Nala bares her teeth and charges. The baboon quickly retreats. But this is only the beginning. The others begin approaching from different directions. One distracts Nala while another reaches for the honey. When Nala chases one baboon away, another grabs part of the honeycomb and runs. The quiet savannah suddenly becomes a scene of complete chaos. Nala refuses to surrender the food she collected for her cubs. But more baboons continue to arrive. Then, without warning, a roar silences every animal around the hive. A massive male lion emerges from the bushes. The baboons panic and immediately begin to flee. But one of them is not fast enough. The lion charges forward and catches the baboon between its powerful jaws. Nala now has the perfect opportunity to escape. But instead of running away, she turns toward the lion. Her honey has been stolen. She has been stung by hundreds of bees and attacked repeatedly by the baboons. Now she directs all of her anger toward the largest predator on the savannah. Nala growls and charges. The lion knocks her backward with a single strike of its paw. But Nala immediately rises. She attacks again. Once more, the lion throws her aside. The difference in strength between them is enormous. The lion could kill Nala if it truly wanted to, but the honey badger's loose, thick skin makes her difficult to hold and control. Even more importantly, Nala refuses to retreat. The lion is looking for an easy meal, not a dangerous and unnecessary injury. Fighting this small, furious animal is simply not worth the risk. After several tense moments, the lion backs away. This does not mean that Nala has defeated the lion. It means the lion has decided that continuing the fight is not worth the cost. In the wild, the winner is not always the strongest animal. Sometimes, the winner is the one who convinces its opponent that the struggle is no longer worth continuing. Nala gathers the remaining pieces of honey and begins making her way back toward the den. The sun is now approaching the horizon. Since morning, she has challenged an ostrich, dragged away a giant egg, broken through its powerful shell, entered a hive filled with thousands of bees, defended her food against baboons, and finally stood her ground against a male lion. Nala is not the fastest animal on the savannah. She does not possess the largest claws. She does not have the most powerful jaws. But she has another weapon. She refuses to give up. Whenever she faces a new danger, she changes her strategy. When her first plan fails, she searches for another solution. She observes her enemies and turns their strength into an opportunity. Because Nala does not want to become the ruler of the savannah. She only wants to return safely to her cubs. When she finally reaches the den, the young honey badgers rush to greet her. Nala places the honey in front of them and lies down to rest. For today, her mission is complete. But on the savannah, no victory lasts forever. The food will eventually disappear. The dangers will return. And Nala will once again be forced to begin another journey. Because survival in the wild is not only about being strong. It is about being patient, carefully observing your surroundings, learning from failure, and rising again no matter how many times you are knocked down. Nala's story reveals one of the most important lessons of the African savannah. Courage does not mean feeling no fear. Courage means continuing forward despite fear, because someone is depending on you. As the sun disappears beyond the horizon, Nala rests safely beside her cubs. Tomorrow, hunger will return. So will danger. And once again, this fearless mother will step into the savannah. For more incredible honey badger adventures and unforgettable stories from the wild, remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next wildlife story.